Well, hello everybody. This is Jarrod Alberich, the yard sale artist here with another Death Probe Inks. Still working on some cold lightning. Just thought I'd go live with it today and say hello to a few folks. If everything is going according to plan, you should be listening to the smooth sounds of Joe November in the background. And as a reminder, that's what Joe's SoundCloud page looks like. I'm going to be listening to his jams while I work a little bit on this page today. As always, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Stop by, say hello, all that jazz. I'm just getting ready to get started here. Picking out some pens. Hope everybody's having a good Thursday evening. We roll into Friday. All right, I think I'm set. I'm going to get to it. I have a little bit of this background left to go. Then this page gets easier for me because there's a lot of technical template stuff that's done here. Then it just becomes people and faces down here, which become a little easier. So I'm going to get to work and enjoy these Joe November jams. And again, don't be shy about hitting into the comments with questions on independent comic inking, anything else I have life experience with. I guess that would be like leadership classes, military time and military, podcasting. Those are my skill sets. I've revealed them all to you. Yeah, just going to do a little bit of inking. Soothe my nerves. Had a busy day, so I'm just going to relax these Joe November beats. And I see a few folks out there watching. Feel free to come on in and ask a question in the chat or just say hello. I guess I should remind everybody that this comic I'm working on is a sci-fi adventure comic called Cold Lightning. It is from Allen Plexico's novel universe. He basically took one of his short stories or novellas and turned it into a comic. And then we're getting really near the end with this page. I think this is page 19. So I think I have 20, 21, and 22 to do after this. And then I don't know that we've done a cover for issue 3 yet. So that might still be to come. But the pencils on this are by Wendell Cavalcanti, who lives in South America. I've never actually met Wendell. He does the pencils and then scans them in, sends them to me. I printed out what's called a blue line, and I ink them. From here, after that, they go to the colorist. And then after that, the letterer. Then you pretty much got a finished product. Oh, I see my good friend Kathy in the chat. I'm glad you like watching these inking videos, Kathy, and I appreciate you stopping by. I hope you had a good Thursday. It's kind of warm here today. Bring my fan up. Hopefully it won't cause too much noise on the video. Hey, Kathy, can you, since you're in the chat right now, if you're still out there, can you confirm the volume on on Joe's music is good. I don't think I've changed any settings since last time, but you always can't be too sure. Technology betrays me every chance it gets. Awesome. Glad you had a good day, Kathy. I did too. Kind of busy. Stayed up late podcasting last night. Didn't get to bed until about 1. So I slept in a little bit today, which put me behind the curve. But I ended up getting everything on my list done, which is why I have time to do a little bit of live stream making. I will turn Joe's music down just a little. Tell me if that's better, Kathy. I just turned it down a little. Speaking of Joe, now's a good time to give him a plug. There's Joe's SoundCloud page. He and I have been friends for over 20 years from the Air Force together. He does wonderful music, so I definitely encourage you guys to go check out his SoundCloud page. It goes by Joe November over there. Reached the point on this panel where I'm having to do really tiny little people and tiny little background details. So I'm using a tiny little pin nib. This is a 1. In fact, if I could find my 0.5 on it, I would, but I couldn't find my 0.5. But 1 is doing just fine for me. Okay. Just got my confirmation came in from Kathy that our music volume is probably all optimal now, so that's good. Tiny little silhouettes of people in the distance. All these tiny little details in the background. This one little corner of this panel will probably take me about as long as everything else on this page did. Let's connect these there. Set a staircase way off in the distance. Little silhouettes of people out there. There we go. A little bit of cloud work. I'm going to be real light with the pressure for these clouds in the distance. Just giving the faintest lines. Kathy in the chat asked if that's the Westin in the background right there. It does look like Kathy and I just got back from Dragon Con, and the Westin Hotel is this big cylindrical building right there downtown. And it does have that look about it. Okay, almost got it. And do this big shadow running down the side of this cylinder. Some reason my pen kind of didn't give me a real solid line. This might be an old pen. There we go. Make that one a little more solid too. Yeah, I don't think this pen is my friend anymore. Let's try this one. I'm just going to follow these lines down, make them a little thicker so that when I come back with the heavier marker, I have just a little buffer space there. We lost one of our silhouettes in the background. Oh no. But we all know he was there. We'll remember that guy standing on the bridge way off in the distance. There we go. Continue these lines here. So we're going to lose another guy. This poor guy right here, he's not going to make it. We'll have to remember him. Hey, I want to welcome Tony Pennington into the chat. Hey, Tony, I'm using a couple different ones here today. I'm not sure when you asked the question. I'm using a Pigma Micron 1 for all the fine line work in this distance shot. And then for a little bit thicker of a line, I'm using a Sharpie No Bleed. Probably one of my very favorite pens is the Sharpie No Bleed because it creates a really nice wall. Like you put a line down, it won't fuzz out. Like if you use a regular Sharpie, it'll fuzz out and it won't give you a real hard straight line. It'll be a little bit blurry if you use this. So I like to put down my shapes with a no bleed pen and then come fill them in like I did here with a Sharpie. I use an extreme fade resistant. This is my favorite one. You can ink with a regular Sharpie because you're really just gonna, once you're done, scan it in and it'll be fine. But over the years that Sharpie ink will fade and kind of turn yellow. But that's why I like the extreme fade resistant ones. Is they'll last longer. So if someone gets the original page, it'll last a good long time. So that's the markers and pens I'm using. Good question, Tony. I hope you're having a good Thursday afternoon. I'm going to add just a little texture to this building here because I actually made it a little shorter than what Wendell sent me because Wendell has different templates than me, French curves and whatnot. So ours don't always match up. So I actually made it a little shorter than he intended. But I can still see his blue line there. And I like the way it gives it a little extra personality. So I think I'm going to kind of add that. That's not really in the original drawing from Wendell. But it'll add a little character to this building. There. Give it just a little bit of a dome top. It makes it look a little fancier. And then I can just take this shadow line that's going here and bend it as if it's curved over the dome, and boom, there we go. We got a little bit of character. I'm going to do a couple little fade out, fade in lines. There. Building has just a touch more character to it. I see we've reached the dad rap portion of our day, everyone. Wendell likes to put these like puddles and stuff down here to give the ground a little character. So added those, and I think we're good to go on this panel. A black and white screen staring right back at me. So, Tony, you're concerned about the permanence of your comments on papers, huh? Well, all right. All right. So now we're zooming in, so I can go a bit thicker here. I would like to use, if I can find it. That might be the 2 later on. Right now, I'm looking. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, now I find my .005. Nope, not the one I'm looking for.
Now I'm in college, Auburn University. My roommate has a PS1.
Really kind of what the one.
Showing up for class and making good grades.
I'm not
Really hard to do when
seeing
you're
it in my cup
that Sony
here.
game system, man.
I wonder where it got to.
Metal Gear Solid, that game was on point.
Castlevania,
right. Symphony of the Night. There's no
I'll
rhyme
use this
here.
5 to start
it's
off.
simply the best game ever. Nintendo
Oof.
drops the N64 Ocarina.
I want that to be much thicker, so I'm going to switch over to the no bleed. I have a lot more control over the thickness with the no bleed. There we go.
Now I'm married, scoring a PS2. Made sure she was a gamer before I said I knew. She's into RPGs like Dragon Quest. I'm telling y'all, this girl's the best. I'm in the military.
There we
in
go.
Iraq. Seems every GI has an Xbox in the pack. That sucker weighs 15 pounds. That's the truth. It's the only gaming system that might be bulletproof. I finished my war, headed home at last. Got a big stack of games for Dreamcast. Underrated system with some really great games. D2 and Dino Crisis, just to name names. Out of the military and its civilian life. Just me, my boy, and of course my wife. Upgrading now to PS3, 360, and of course a Wii. Keeping up with my faves like Castlevania, Tomb Raider, and Legend of Zelda. The wife is still rocking her RPGs, playing with the boy with the Lego series, and along with PS4 and Xbox One, my wife and I have our second son. With this many gamers, there's one thing to do: buy some more TVs and a Wii U. So here I am, career wife and 2 kids. Not a lot of time for gaming, but I squeeze it in and get a couple hours like once a month.
I want to make these, since we're zoomed in, I want to make the
my last few rhymes are
lines a little thicker.
While I drop some truth. When you're playing online with an old man, maybe take it easy on him whenever you can. Yeah, you're better than me. You play every day. I've got work, wife, kids, and bills to pay. So before teabagging me and calling me new, remember the old gamers who built this for you. Gaming, it got a hold of me. I found my first love with Atari.
Oh, the dad rap portion of our day.
Yeah, that's some dad rap right there. Raw dad rap. Good luck, Joe. I love you.
Hey, Courtney, welcome into the chat. Actually, grab my template French curve. Some of these armor curves. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday afternoon, Courtney. Oh, good. Courtney says that she's out on her walk, so I appreciate you taking me with you, Courtney. As usual, we're just listening to some Joe November jams and relaxing with some inking. We can move ever closer to finishing up this book. And now's a good time to remind everybody who's watching live, or if you're coming back through a replay, that we are listening to Joe November's SoundCloud page. Joe's a great, talented music producer, makes great beats. Known him for a long time, so check that out. You never know what you're going to get here on the Long Box channel, Tony. Oh, I missed that Courtney had asked how Dragon Con was. We had a good time. Very good time. I would definitely say this was maybe my favorite Dragon Con. I mean, it's cool to have the crew there last year, but I don't know. Something about this one was just... yeah, I think what it is I'm getting more comfortable with it. Like I tend to get real nervous about like driving in the downtown area and all that. Every time I get there, I get stressed out by it. But this time I didn't feel as stressed. So that was a good thing. Tony said that he will attend the next Dragon Con if we can find Claremont. All right, I gotta say, Chris Claremont is a great guy with a wonderful sense of humor, and he was very nice. It was last year that my brother Jason decided to tell Chris Claremont how much I did not enjoy it when he does those mind fights that he does a lot in X-Men. And then Jason asked Claremont if he would come over to my table and engage me in a mind fight, which I was not aware of any of this until Claremont shows up at my table ready to mind fight me. And he defeated me soundly, I will admit it. It was hilarious, and the guy's got a tremendous sense of humor. So much love to Chris Claremont, although I didn't see him there this year. Some of the bigger old school creators that I saw, Jim Starlin was there, Mark Bagley, Scott Hanna, Brian Michael Bendis, Jerry Conway. We were all there. Pretty cool. So I know there's only a handful of you in here right now, but one cool thing that happened while I was there was that I actually sold out of my independent comic Hamilton versus Burr. So I ordered it about 4.5 years ago is when it debuted at Tallahassee Comic Con. I ordered 500 copies. So in 4.5 years, I sold all 500 copies. No means a sales record, but it made me feel good. And we've got a Kickstarter plan afoot to do a second print run on it. We've got I've got Mighty Mark Hatherley working on an alternate cover. He sent me the pencil work for it today, and it looks freaking incredible. Oh, that's right. Kathy mentioned Bob Hall was also at the show. And Kathy got an original piece from Bob. Bob's just one of those artists from back in the day, Marvel and DC, that just kind of worked on everything. You know, he's just a nice guy. So, yep, he was there as well. But yeah, those of you on this stream right here will be pretty much the first ones to know that we will be doing a Kickstarter for a second print run on Hamilton versus Burrow Werewolf Tale. And man, that alternate variant cover that will be available from that Kickstarter by Mark is just wow. I think it's going to want to make people try that again in English. I think it's going to make a lot of people want to move up a tier on the Kickstarter to get that alternate cover because it is fire. But I expect nothing less from Mighty Mark Hatherley from Bermuda. In fact, Mighty Mark and I need to start see if we can't get back together to do some more art streams together. It's something he and I have been talking about. Now that both of our lives are starting to calm down a little bit. In fact, you guys know Shipwreckers coming next. Will be the next big project for he and I. And we've talked about doing sort of a continuation story with the main character from Shipwrecker, whose name is Allen Porter, and in comic strip format. So we're doing like a regular, every month, every 2 weeks, something like that, comic, like 3-panel comic strip. And we thought we might create them live, do a live stream where he would be penciling one, the next one, while I'm inking the one that's about to come out. So sort of a assembly line process. And I've already written the first, I can't remember if I've written 2 or 3 strips. But that's a ways off because we need to make sure we finish Shipwrecker and get the second print of Hamilton versus Burr out. So that's a ways down the road, but something to look forward to. We'll put that on the big board because yes, Mark is fantastic. One regret I have, I don't know if Tony's still in the chat or not, but one regret I have, Tony, is that with Bagley at the show, I wish I'd gotten a little time to try to go down and chat with him and kind of let him know what we're doing on the New Warriors show. He might have found that fascinating, and I could have even pimped him for a guest spot. But the bad news is I didn't get it around to doing that. The good news is that I stayed so slammed busy at Dragon Con that just con flew by, which is a good thing. Wasn't a ton of quiet moments, that's for sure. They had this sketchbook program for the kids, so you could sign up for, and of course I did. And so kids would be bringing me sketchbooks all day long to do quick little sketches in there, and that kept me busy. When I wasn't doing that, Kathy was helping me sell a bunch of my book page sketches. And man, we just stayed busy and had a good time. Some of those kids were pretty awesome, though. Most of the kids were pretty awesome. Almost all the kids were pretty awesome. Actually, I can't even remember if there was one that wasn't awesome. They were all good kids. It was a lot of fun just to look through their sketchbooks when they'd bring them to me. See who they'd already got, what kind of neat art was in there. My go-to drawing for that kind of thing is a Ninja Turtle head, something I can draw halfway decent really fast. So I probably drew 30 Ninja Turtle heads throughout the course of the weekend. Some kids would ask for something specific, and I would do my best to accommodate. I like how I have Kathy trained on the lingo. She's talking about just the art directors, all those people that come up and ask you for a free sketch. They want to become an art director and tell you all exactly what you should do and how you should do it. I think the weirdest one was the folks that like brought their kids around for sketches like on the last day of the show, and it was like literally like, I'm not even exaggerating, it was like 3 minutes until the floor closed, and they were bringing their kids around for sketches. It's like all the artists are trying to pack up and leave, and they're coming in like literally 3 minutes left in the entire show on Monday, and like, hey, can you do a sketch? Of course I'm gonna do a sketch for the kid, but I thought that was like, okay, that's odd timing. But it all worked out. Kathy gives me props for a spider Gwen that I did for a young lady in her sketchbook, which did come out better than I thought it would. I was like, man, I haven't really drawn Spider Gwen, but I found a pretty good little reference and kind of stylized it. And I won't complain about how it came out. I was happy with it. More importantly, the little girl was happy with it. Kathy, I'm going to tell tales on Kathy in the chat. Kathy liked the sketchbooks that she saw so much she considered faking having a kid with her to take the tables. Tell the tales on you, Kathy. She was like, I should just totally fake that. Oh yeah, my kid's he's over there. Can you go ahead and sketch something for my kid? Yes. Yeah, not know a lot of inking, especially when you're talking about tech stuff is not freehand. Like whoever the inker is on Iron Man, Tony has got a lot of different templates. And I got a fair amount, but I said the Iron Man, there's another one. The Iron Man inker probably uses a ton of them. And a lot of people use the ink, the India ink and brush, and I'm one of them. Like I do use that sometimes. It really depends on the project, but like I just found that after this is like my 60th plus page of inking Wendell. Some of the pages I did were done with ink and brush. I just discovered that this works a little better for him. He's a very detail penciler, so this just works a little better for me, and it lets me go a little faster. But for example, that awesome cover for Hamilton versus Burrow I was telling you about that Mark did, I'm probably going to ink that. and he's gonna send that to me. And that one I probably will do brush and India ink on, because it's, you know, it's a werewolf, and it's very organic, and it's outside and clouds and stuff, and that just works better for me with a brush. But like when it's real sort of technical and buildings and iron, you know, not Iron Man, but suits, technical suits, technology suits is what I'm trying to say. Then yeah, I'll do a lot more template work and a lot more pens than not brushes, if that made sense. But you know, different inkers might do it differently too. I definitely don't speak for all. I guess that's why it's an art, not a science. I couldn't imagine trying to do all this this future tech that Wendell draws with the brush, though. Another neat example would be the that book I inked for Van Plexico last year, Pulsar. Now that art was a little more cartoony, and I don't mean that in like as a negative. Jennifer Stolzer, I think is her name, penciled it. She just has more of a cartoony style. And so on hers, it was completely freehand. It really lent itself to that. And I played around a lot more with like line weights and stuff on hers. That was fun. In fact, one of the games I tell people to play on who buy Pulsar, Blind Date, it's a little one shot that Van did last year. I tell them to try to find, there's 2 lines, I think, in the whole comic that I actually used a ruler. Everything else is freehand on the inking, and I challenge them to find it. It's like a Where's Waldo. All right, that came out pretty good. This one to be a little smoother. There we go. Smooth out an edge there that probably no one will ever notice when it gets shrunk down to comic page size. Oh, all right. So Tony's talking about his possible trip to Dragon Con, where he says he'll go to the Coke Museum and Factory and the aquarium. My wife and son did both of those, I think, this year. No, I don't remember. I don't think they went to the Coke Factory, but I know they went to the aquarium. They got a really great aquarium down there, but man, they are proud of it. It is it is expensive to go to the aquarium, but my son loves it. But of course, I mean, I'm certain one of your other must-dos, Tony, would be to come by, you know, my table. Just assuming. He's like, maybe. If I can squeeze it in. I did go down to a slightly smaller pin for her. Feminine features tend to be a little bit more delicate, so I'll use a slightly more delicate pin. And she's just a little bit further back from camera, so I'll use a slightly thinner line. You know, I don't know that I've ever been to Gulf Shores, Tony. He asked in the chat if we had any hookups in the Gulf Shores community. I don't know that I've ever been there. So I failed you again, dude. Let's see this little logo. I gotta find my circle templates, which I probably buried under all my markers. Let's see, circle templates. What did I do with them? Lost them apparently. All right. Well, I guess I'll be looking for those for a while. Huh. All right. I'll come back to that. Oh, wait. I see it. All the way in the back. Here I go. It's the top of my head. Oh, Tony, pretending to work the booth is the fastest way to get to put to work, actually working the booth. Just ask Kathy. She knows all about it. This is another good time to drop a reminder that the music you're listening to is Joe November. There is his SoundCloud page. Just check out Joe November on SoundCloud and like his stuff and share his stuff and all that stuff. It's free to go listen to these awesome beats that I find very relaxing while I work, and maybe you would too. That's Joe November on SoundCloud. And no, it is not paid promotion. Just Joe and I have been friends for over 20 years, and just lucky happenstance that he makes amazing beats that I can draw to. That sounds like a good plan, Tony. Tony's talking about his plans for possibly purchasing a vacation home down in the Gulf so he could chill out and do some fishing. That's pretty awesome. All right, speaking of which, apparently we're listening to a commercial for Tempur-Pedic. They are not a paid sponsor, although I wouldn't have any problem with that if someone from Tempur-Pedic wants to reach out to me. You wouldn't want to sleep on a deal like that. That's why no one reaches out to me. You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about how we were talking earlier about, inking and freehand and pens and India ink and brushes and all that, and it just occurred to me that I'm probably the last generation that does that. It's because it's all digital now. I got some digital inking programs and a Surface Pro and all that, and I tried my hand at it, and I just couldn't get into it. This next generation of creators are all going to be digital for the most part. I shouldn't say all, but vast majority are going to be digital if they aren't already. I don't know. I need something like the tactile feel of paper. I need to feel the resistance. I don't know. I'm old. That's what I'm saying. But it's also nice when you're done, because then I have this page that, I can sell. If you're digitally, you don't have a page you can sell when you're done. So from a financial standpoint, it makes sense to go traditional, but from a speed standpoint and like being able to correct mistakes and all that, it can't be digital. All right, Kathy, I hope you do well at trivia. If you're already gone, then I hope you have a great time. If you're not already gone, I'd love to know what tonight's trivia theme is going to be. Yeah, and I see I've been at this for about an hour, which is about how long I like to make these live streams. So I will probably wrap up shortly here myself. Hey, thanks for tuning in, Tony. It's great to see you. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, some great questions tonight, and I appreciate you keeping me company, man. Thanks for being here. And like I said, I'm about to wrap it up myself. Let me just try to finish this ponytail before I call it a day. There we go. All right. There we go. So all I have is this guy here back, and then the final panel, and I'll be done with another page. But we'll attack that on another day. Maybe it'll be a live stream, maybe it won't. I've been Jarrod Alberich, the Yard Sale Artist. You see my at right there. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, it's all at Yard Sale Artists. Appreciate you hanging out. Appreciate you being part of the Long Box Crusade Network family. Please listen to our podcasts on any fine podcast. You just search Long Box Crusade. Thanks for being a YouTube viewer if that's how you watched it. Of course, we'd love it if you gave it a like and a subscribe and a retweet and an extra share. Yeah, all that stuff. Thanks again for those people who stopped in. It was great talking with Kathy and Tony and Courtney. You guys keep me company while I'm doing this. And one last time, Joe November. That's his SoundCloud. You've been listening to his music in the background the whole time. Check out super talented Joe November. Thanks to everybody for being here from Long Box Crusade headquarters. This is Death Probe saying, I'll catch you later.